Okay, like I was saying, the first slides really talk about that you can add your own flavor. Actually, uh, we just share information and you empower whatever tools you have. So you can put your own spice on your presentation, on your conversation. But I'm going to talk about a few, some of them. So it's a learning experience. So learning for everyone is a process. And I know. And there is a process of learning anything. The first thing is that you don't know any information about it. It's like when you're learning how to drive. At the beginning, you don't know that you don't know how to wheel in your hands. Suddenly, I gave you my car, and you sit in my driving seat, and you hold the steering wheel, and then I say, okay, drive the car. At that moment, you know that you don't know how to drive. So that's the second step of learning process. When you don't know that you don't know, unconsciously, you don't even care about it. But when you know that there is something that you need to learn, then you got a little bit concerned, like scared. Right there's like the fear approach you on I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to drive. So most people is already on that step right now when they started a business that they understand they don't know how to get started. They don't know what is the first approach. They don't know exactly what to do. Okay. So then you learn. It's like, let me go back to the car analogy, the driving a car analogy. Then you learn how to drive a car. And then you can go and drive the car from location A to location B. You agree with me? Now you feel comfortable driving. So that's the third step of knowing something, the process of learning something. Now you know that you know how to drive a car. It's already there. So the fear is no longer. When you learn something, the fear is no longer there. And suddenly, you don't know that you know how to drive. What is it that I mean over here? It's because driving becomes a habit for you. It's already in your five senses. And I want you to really digest the knowledge you're learning something because some people come to this industry without understanding the learning process. They have so much concern on that they don't know exactly what to do. That sometimes it creates fears. But it's all about being open to learn new disciplines. It's all about learning it's a process for learning on how to manage the business. Some people come to the industry without never even thinking about going in business because all what they learn on their life is on being an employee and doing something that the boss or somebody directed you to set to do. Okay, so that's very tough when people have to change habit from becoming a discipline or a mentality of becoming a job keeper, somebody that just keep instructions, to be now a business owner or of being running a business, and that's very challenging. And I guess you agree with me that some people come to the industry and the last thing that they're thinking is that they're running a business. They do things when they can do it, if they can do it, okay, when it's possible to do anything. So it's not a business. It's not a running. It's like they trying to do something, not really a business investment. So you need to add something on top of the learning process, which is the understanding that failure is part of the process to succeed. I believe, honestly, that success is the accumulation of little failures. So failing is okay as soon as you understand that. And this is where I say, do not consider failure as a failure, but as an opportunity to improve your presentation skills if you need to learn to present. But this applies to every single aspect of whatever you think is failure. Do not consider failure as a failure, but as an opportunity to improve your skills. If it's your invitation skills, then improve your presentation skills. I mean, your invitation skills. But as soon as you keep trying, failure is not final. Keep trying all the time, understanding that you are improving every time you try again. Okay? Your skill will depend on your failure ratio. If you are presenting, if you increase your failure ratio, your presenting ratio will increase. I need you to understand what I just said. If you want to become a good presenter, you need to fail presenting multiple times before you become effective presenting. So be comfortable to be uncomfortable talking to people. Be comfortable to be uncomfortable presenting, uncomfortable inviting. Be comfortable with that aspect because you're going to be learning. And at the end, because of your failure ratio, you're going to improve your success ratio. And I was telling my group the other day that um, actually when you're inviting, the ratio is as follows. If you invite 10 people, 3 shows up. You invite 10, 3 will show up to the event you invited them. So if you want to increase the amount of people attending your presentations or attending whatever is your event, not necessarily a presentation, if you invite 10 and you got 3 attending, then if you invite 20, you will get 6. And that's exactly what I mean. You increase your ratio by inviting 20. At the same time, you increase your results, your success of getting 6 into the program. This is also with the people already in your team, with the people already in your group. 3 out of your group, 3 out of 10 will become productive. You hear that? If your group is 10 people, 3 will become productive, very productive, meaning the other will not. Some people will give up on the way. So if you want your team to be productive and want to develop a lot of people to success, you need to increase the amount of people into your group, meaning your ratio of success by empowering your group will increase with the ratio of your recruiting activities. I need you to play mentally with that and take it because this is the truth. Not everyone in business world is successful. Actually, the success is about they call it the 3%. So out of 100 people in business, 3 will be highly successful. The other group is just average. But out of those 3, 1 will become wealthy. I'm talking about very successful, wealthy. So that 1% is everywhere in every industry. There is 1% of them of the industry. There is 1% of the population that become wealthy, but 3% become successful, highly successful. And you need to work with that ratio. You need to understand that. But basically, on the normal population, they call it 95 to 5. 95% of the people works for the 5% of the other people, the other group, which is the successful business owners. Let me say that again. 95% of regular people works for 5% of the business owners, of the people that owns businesses. So that ratio is a little bit more, I can say, more damaging on things of success than the average actual successful people in network marketing, which is the 20-80. 80% becomes average, 20% becomes at least successful, becomes at least understanding the industry. But the entire industry created 3%ers and the 1%ers. Which one you want to be? Which one you want to be out of all those groups or out of those percentage? So remember that when people reject the opportunity or people create objections, like I was training the other day with us, it's not about rejection. It's about redirection. It's about finding the way to handle the situation. That's what I want you to understand. So when picking interest, which is I can say the first part of our training, when picking interest, you need to be in a hurry. And I don't mean to be in a hurry, like running, really running, but you need to create urgency. You also need to show value to your prospects, values. And also when picking interest, you need to observe their body language. How do they behave when actually you pick interest on them, when you're talking to them? And this is the first conversation I always build in order to picking interest on people. I asked this question. And the other day, somebody was asking me how to guide or how to lead what conversation and how to lead a conversation to a new prospect. So this one is perfect. If I can show you a way how you can increase your weekly revenues without quitting your current job or business, will you be open to evaluate a business opportunity? You pause there and you wait for the positive, answers, for the positive response. Now here you need to pay attention. If you are in a face-to-face atmosphere, like you're really meeting that person live, face-to-face, keep eye contact with your prospect. And more important, observe the body language. How do they behave? And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. If I can show you a way how you can increase your weekly revenues without quitting your current job or business, would you be open to evaluate a business opportunity? Now, if I'm watching you and if I watch you, my prospect, I notice is this, and you're going to notice the same thing. People will say, of course, yes, I'm open to hear about business opportunity. Of course. Other one, maybe change that. Of course, yes. And maybe they say, yeah, okay, I'm open to see a business opportunity. But if you notice, that tonality and that expression is different than the first one. Okay? Other one says, yes, I am open. Other one says, of course I am. But you have to pay attention to how they add to this question, this leading question. But 100% of the time, when you pause after that question, they will reply. You know, if they say, of course, I'm open, but you pause, they're going to ask you, why do you ask me? What is it? What the business opportunity is about? You understand it? You need to have that expectation. That's the reason you pause when you ask, Jose, will you be open to a business opportunity? And I also changed this. That's why I said that you can use your own flavor. You can use spice the conversation. I use another one, which is, hey, Jose, if a new business trend is developing in today's business economy, how fast do you want to know about it? It is the same question. I just change it. I just tweak it. It's like a tweak. Jose, if a new business trend is developing in technology with today business economy, you know how the economy is changing, will you be open or how soon that you want to hear about it? I also gonna create that how soon? Immediately. But I also gonna observe the body language. I also gonna be watching the way they act when I ask. So be careful with that, but use this technique that is very effective, but you have to anticipate that they're gonna reply with, what is it? What do you wanna talk about? What's the business you are referring to? And this is the next step. You're gonna explain to them on the invitation, hey Jose, I would need like 20 minutes of your undivided attention. So there is three ways that you can evaluate the opportunity or you can get the information. One is in an online webinar, so you need to be in front of a computer. Are you comfortable with that? Oh, another way is we can go to a coffee time at your favorite place, like Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, etc. This is in a direct, encounter. I say first, we can do an online webinar. You can be comfortable in front, in your house, in front of your computer. Second way, we can enjoy a coffee time. We can go to Starbucks, to Dunkin' Donuts, whatever coffee shop is closer to you. But also, you can be in a live presentation event. This is in the scenario that we are really having a live presentation in a hotel room or in an office or something like that. These three choices mean which one of them is more convenient for you, Jose. Listen to this. I'm not asking Jose if he is interested or not. I asked at the beginning, would you be open? He said yes. But then he asked me, what do you mean? What is it? What the business is about? What do you want to talk about? This is for that specific reply. Jose, we need like 20 minutes to explain what it's about. And we got three options. One, online webinar. You can be in front of a computer. Two, we can enjoy time in a coffee time and then in a coffee shop. Three, you can be in a live presentation, a live event, where you can also have the ability to ask questions to, experts. But because of the changes in technology and the changes on people habits today, we can have a live presentation also online. We can have a webinar where you can be asking questions to the expert, because most of our presentation are live presentations. So are you comfortable with the internet? Are you comfortable with, attending a webinar? Do you understand how to attend a webinar? And sometimes these questions are challenging to your prospect because if your prospect feel comfortable, when they hear how comfortable are you with our online webinar? Have you attended any Zoom presentation before? They're gonna say yes, of course, yes. Even my daughter sometimes present to me with a Zoom platform. So be open to keep the conversation going in these topics and understand the body language. But if you ask which one of these um, venues is more convenient for you, this is key. Ask them which one is more convenient with you. Do not ask, will you be able to attend? Because that's where the excuses shows up. Be aware of your language. It's different when you ask somebody which of these three venues is more convenient to you. It's different than would you be able to attend. So please use this type of technique on the letters, on the meaning, because you're gonna be more effective if you duplicate that and wait for the positive response all the time when you do this. Practice it. Let me go back to the beginning of this training. Practice your skills. Practice your invitation. Practice your picking interest. I show you a way to pick interest. Add your own spice. Add your own flavor to the picking interest. There is a tons of ways of picking interest questions. You can go online. You can go online and ask, you know, keep picking picking interest questions. You can type it and it's gonna show you a bunch of them. One of the most common is, Jose, are you open for business? Jose, are you open for business? That's another one. Jose's gonna say, yes, of course I'm open for business. And then you keep going. Another way of picking interest would be, Jose, if if you can make decent, okay, if you can make decent money, utilizing your free time, your spare time, will you be open to hear an opportunity to improve your weekly revenue? All this, you can change it, on your own spice, on your own flavor, but try to use the one that suits the most to you. These ones are very effective. The one I've been showing you is being used for top professionals. It's been working for me in different careers, including my real estate career. So actually, 2%, you have different presentation scenario. Okay? You have the weekly meeting that most of the time your company is running a weekly presentation. You have the kitchen table, which is face to face with your prospect, enjoying a coffee at their home or your home or their office. Okay, there is the opportunity webinar, the one that we run different occasions and different languages. Matter of fact, today I'd like to share with you that we also started a presentation in Creole for a Haitian group that speaks French and speaks Creole. Very soon we're also going to be conducting webinars on other languages like Portuguese, French, and actually we do it in English and Spanish. It's like the higher ratio of our presentation, but definitely now a group started presenting in Creole. I'm going to invite you to stay put on that and have the information and share with the people that speak Creole. Haitian community is a friend of us. It's a community that is growing to another level, even through the challenge that they have. They're looking for a way out. Also building a online business. Also, you can enjoy an opportunity of record a call. This is already a recorded presentation that you can send to somebody. They can watch it on um, their best time, their affordable time, I can say. And we also have conference calls where the entire group participate and the small office overviews, etc., etc. So please understand that these scenarios, all of them are totally different. And the weekly meeting, you maybe talk about the entire presentation, the entire PowerPoint, but not in the kitchen table. I need you to understand when you're meeting somebody on the living room, or the kitchen table, or the coffee shop, you are not supposed to do an entire presentation. You do a very small, brief overview. You don't want to give the sense to this person that they're going to be wasting their time or that they need to do exactly what you're doing. You remember one thing: when you're presenting, when you're inviting somebody, you're training them on how they're going to be inviting others. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that. When I invite Jose, when I invite Jose, I also training Jose as a future team member on how to invite. He's going to be paying attention of what I say and how I say it. And I want you to really, really value what I just said. When you do something, you're training the people watching you. You're telling people exactly that's the way you're going to be doing it tomorrow. Does that make sense? That's my question. So, actually, another way is something that I've been utilizing my entire career is the three-way calls. Okay, this is another way to build your business and to build rapport and to get the information across your prospects. And the purpose of the three-way is for the expert to support you. Listen to this: the expert support you at the same time he's talking to your prospects. You understand? Now, the expert can address concerns, he can overcome objections, he can close the prospects, he can validate who you are at the same time you're learning. But do not conduct three-way events only with the purpose to recruit your prospects. If you have a three-way, that's an opportunity to learn a lot from your expert. I always said this, ladies and gentlemen. I always ask, take notes, dedicate your time to collect information and get educated in the business process. This is a non-traditional business atmosphere, a business model that is not about buying and selling, just about that. So when you are having, have the moment to utilize your expert or your support line to interview your prospect, take that as an opportunity to learn the process. You see this I believe training on PIP, on picking interest in buy and percent. This is just basic. This is just for you to know that there is a modality out there for you to improve whatever you're doing. So here's the key for the three-way. First, learn how to identify the expert. The other day, we conducted a high attendant training for the Spanish group. This is our second boiler room, meaning this is the first time we're training in English. So you're going to be exposed to those training as well. Today, I just want to give you a peek, a little like a little insight on that we're going to be training in different disciplines. And we're going to train on edification. We're going to we're going to have our entire training on overcoming objections. We're going to have a training on how to effectively conduct a presentation, meaning at that moment, next day, you will be, you're going to be like dying to present to somebody. You're going to be so excited. You're going to be so motivated that you're going to learn that training today. You want to go outside and start presenting to your prospects. And that's where, your business is go more excited. For some people, it's challenging, but it's got to be excited. You got to enjoy exactly every day that you're doing this. The learning process, you got to be excited. You got to be, open to, and you got to be motivated, for the learning process, and you need to understand it. So first, you need to edify the prospect. I mean, the expert. Second, you need a proper introduction of your prospect. Listen to this. That's why I say take note sometime on what you say and how you say it. Please pay attention to this. I did not say it, edify your prospect. Please take note on what I just said, just doing right now. You edify the expert, but you do a proper introduction of your prospect. You don't do an edification of your prospect. What you do over here is I learn how to properly introduce two individuals, how to proper introduce two persons. Okay? And after the three-way, after you edify and properly introduce your prospect, be quiet during the call. Be quiet, mute yourself. Let your expert conduct. Just learn, take notes, and never, ever, ever interrupt the expert. Never, because then you become the expert. Now, the expert in a point of the three-way may edify you, okay, may validate you, and at that moment, maybe your expert will introduce you back to the call. Okay, now let me bring Jose to the call, a person that I respect a lot based on the work ethic and the team development abilities. So I really appreciate working with Jose. So, Mr. Prospect, now I'm gonna let you, you know, uh, agree with Jose on time of the next contact, event when you're meeting again, and Jose is gonna guide you on any other concerns that you may have. But on top of that, I wanted to write my phone number, so you can reach out anytime you have any concern or question. That is in the event that me as an expert wants to keep that direct conversation or that direct contact relationship with that specific prospect. Now, some of you maybe for first time in a training call like this one, some of you maybe for first time listening on how to appropriately conduct a three-way, right? Some of you may be here for your expert or your team leaders that you need to conduct to build a prospect list. How many times you hear write a small prospect list, and now you do three ways per day, and you count that. You notice that you prospectly, okay, three-way this day, three-way this day, three-way this day, and and you take that little note on your prospect list, understanding that you already three-way that person. Now, write your prospect list also the next day, the next follow-up event with that prospect, because it may be that the expert already invited that prospect into an event, within the three-way. So maybe the expert says, okay, Jose, and maybe the expert is going to utilize this. Okay, Jose, you can get the full exposure because the three-way is not designed for a full presentation. The three-way is just designed for concerns and picking interest from, to your new guest, to your new prospect. And this is where you utilize your expert. And here, maybe the expert is going to say, okay, Jose, you can get the full presentation, maybe in one of these three ways. It's going to take 20, 30 minutes, even a little bit, maybe more. But to understand the concept, you just need like 20 minutes. So a online webinar, you have to be from a computer, it be in a coffee shop with Jose. Jose is going to open the PowerPoint, he's going to show you everything. Or you can also attend a live presentation. Matter of fact, I may be presenting tomorrow at 9 p.m. So let me know if you can attend and which one of these three uh, formats would be more convenient for you, Louis or whatever is the name of the prospect. So actually, the three-way is a scenario that it should not long, last more than 5 or 10 minutes. That's another thing you need to understand. Do not do three ways to conduct an entire presentation because you're gonna get your prospects in another mood. Like, okay, this is too difficult for me. This is taking too long. So the three ways should be average, like no more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Maybe if the prospect arise concerns or questions and he extended the three way, the prospect extended the three way. But the intention here is to invite, to address concerns, and support you. So three way should be, and you have to conduct three way to learn it. You have to, do three ways on a daily basis with your expert, and also you have to conduct three way for your downline, for your organization. And some of you already experienced three way with me, where I create value, but you have to definitely give me leverage. You provide leverage on the learning process and on me as a presenter by having an appropriate edification. You have to edify your expert properly. Okay, so that way your expert have more leverage and more credibility toward your prospects. Learn that process. Go back to this scenario. Paint that three little dots. You are the leader. You got your prospect. You got the support expert. Play with this. Understand the psychology behind the three way. That is most of the time it's not just a three way. It can be a three way event, not a three way call. It can be that you are meeting with your prospect in a live atmosphere with your expert. Maybe you're doing it on purpose, or maybe it's already a predetermined scheduled meeting where there is two of you and your expert, that had this specific face-to-face interview with your prospect. And here, please learn the process, learn from your expert, look at the way he do things, and at the way that he behave on questions and handling objection. Learn the process. Okay, here to finish today boiler room, I have something at the end that is designing actually to leave a good blueprint behind on what your business is about. Okay, you can copy this, you can screenshot, you can go back to the presentation recording, and definitely you can reproduce this conversation here, or this phrase. Okay, Rrenova is a marketing company that generates revenue by promoting products, services, and technology, utilizing today's business approach and people-to-people relationship. You see, right there is the whole concept of Rrenova. Right there, I just said this is the entire concept of Rrenova business model. But then you can extend the conversation on creating a unique business model where you can position yourself in front of a large global expansion with big industries like Forex market, blockchain industry, e-commerce, cryptocurrencies, war, marketing applications, nutrition products, travel industry, and other services people use on a daily basis. Memorize this, ladies and gentlemen. If you memorize this, somebody asks what your business is about. There you go. It's right there. If you want to explain it in less than a minute conversation, You just repeat this, memorize it, use it. Rrenova is a marketing company that generates revenues by promoting products, services, and technology, utilizing today's business approach and people-to-people relationship, creating a unique business model where you can position yourself in front of a large global expansion with big industries like Forex market, blockchain, e-commerce, cryptocurrencies, marketing applications, nutrition products, travel industries, and other services people use on a daily basis. That is Rrenova. That is Rrenova in less than a minute. The entire concept is right there. So, so at this moment, I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't know if we have enough time, because I know I spent a little bit time on my computer. It's 2:50. I think we are like 40 minutes here. So I'm gonna leave it like that. It's our first actual value run. The other day we celebrating and just letting people know that we're gonna be here every Saturday 2 p.m. So bring your group on Saturdays. Block your Saturdays at 2 p.m. I know people does not have the habit to be in a Saturday early afternoon training, but I don't want to bother with a lot of information. I just want to give key topics so you can manage and grow and improve whatever tools you're utilizing so far. So at this moment, I consider the presentation done. I don't know if you have any question or any comments out of the leaders like Francis, Christopher, Gennaro Lopez, Gail. I really want, if you have any, I can say, improving of this topics that I covered today, we can open your microphone if you have it. But I want to bring Francis for the purpose of anything that I forget, or if you have any question to manage. So Francis, you can open your microphone again and check if any question or any comments, please.
Chris, I don't have anything to add because you cover everything like always. I mean, I'm learning from you. It's amazing how much you could share with us. And like I had always said, it's always a pleasure to hear it. And this boiler room is getting hot, hot, hot. It's really amazing how much you have to, how much you teaching us. And like I always said, that Renova, that's our first, that's our main product, leadership, and that's exactly what you're doing, teaching leaders, creating leaders all over the world. So,
I would
Chris,
like, Francis, it's humbly, I can tell you this, I'm humble and excited about listening for people like you, uh, maybe taking advantage of my information. Humbly, I can tell you, it is tough. It is a commitment, and but also a big responsibility to be in front of leadership like yourself and some of the leaders here that already build tools, that already have some knowledge on how to do things. And humble enough, I can say it's a privilege working with you. I would love, Francis, if possible, before we close the meeting, if anyone of the attendants have any question, you can raise your hands or any comment. If you learn something, raise your hands and we open your microphone for whatever short commentary that you can bring on. So if anyone have any comments to the training, raise your hands and we open your microphone. Anyone. And if not, we are done for the day. So we're back here next Saturday, 2 p.m.
thank you, Chris. Thank
Hey,
you,
Francis,
everybody. Have a
thank you.
blessed day and blessed weekend. And I will see you Saturday or during the week. I'll be seeing you guys.
Definitely. On Tuesday, we're going to be presenting in English also at 7:30 p.m. New York time. And we're going to promote that earlier, a little bit earlier today, because I know when the people have not the expectation of the early promotions, then they have an excuse not to be in the meetings. But
True.
anyways, Tuesday 7:30 will be here, and thank you for being with us. I hope that I improve whatever ideas you have on PIP or picking interest, inviting and presenting. But this is just an introduction. We're gonna be heavily training with every Saturday in the boiler room at 2 p.m. I would be asking the team if they feel comfortable with a training on the entire invitation prospect, or for the next Saturday, maybe I will bring the presentation skills. So I'm gonna be asking the group on what topic they want me to cover for the next part of room. Thank you. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you for being with us, and until next Saturday.